it starting some out here to 10:30 or 11, and it'll be a real homeschool party. Okay, let me start with a little volunteer recognition for high school level volunteers, and then we'll get into coach and player recognition. This is always tough because you're trying to catch everybody, but no doubt I'll miss a volunteer, not intentional, but folks I do want to recognize here are John Herbert, Tina Branscombe. At the high school level, they run all the game changer stuff. It takes a lot of work to do that, and appreciate it. Coaches use it all the time, parents use it. I know that me specifically, for example, I'd be at work sometimes, couldn't catch a game this year, and it's so valuable to be able to catch that game live on live stream. So I can text Rory and be like, Rory, what's going on? No, it's just great to be able to follow along wherever you are, and the quality of that video, the ability to go back and grab clips if you're doing college recruiting is really important. And so it's a cool thing to have, it's a fun thing to have. It's also very valuable for the organization. John and Tina really appreciate all the work on Game Changer. Down to Lexi Bridges. Lexi's done a lot of volunteer work this year between, like I mentioned earlier, helping with this event. She helped organize a senior retreat, helped with uniforms. That was a fun one. Lexi, it's been the other one doing pinstripes, and it was getting close to the season starting, and I said, we can look at pinstripes, but guys, I can't do it. I don't have the bandwidth to tackle a uniform change. And Lexi, really appreciate you tackling that. I know it wasn't easy, and I've got so many positive comments around the pinstripe. So thank you so much for that, and for senior recognition. And again, this event tonight, fantastic job. Thank you. All right, Vicki Elam, helping out with senior shirts, the retreat. Another big help this year for the first time was we had someone help out with blocks of hotels. Might seem like a small thing, but it's another task that does take time and effort to get the contracts in place for blocks, get the rates negotiated, the cancellations negotiated. It's not quite as easy just going and clicking buttons on a website. It takes conversation with planners at the hotels, makes everyone's life easier. And so Vicki, really appreciate that, the help tonight. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Gina Herbert, senior retreat support. Gina's also taken the lead the past couple of years with the For the Love of the Game events. And those are really valuable to the players, the coaches, parents. You'll hear a lot tonight about this isn't just about baseball. And those For the Love of the Game events are a piece of that. So very much appreciated for all that support and help tonight. Thank you, Gina. Then last but not least here for high school thanks, a lot of really good photography this year. Our social media game was stronger this year. Bo, thanks for all the great photography. You've even made Jeff look good. That was a challenge. And Gina Ussery, thank you also for your support on pics and video. That stuff's very valuable to the program. Again, that stuff does not happen by accident. It's because of the work that you guys put into that. Much appreciated by all. So thank you to all those volunteers I just went through. Can't do this without you. Big part of our organization is keeping the cost low for families, and we can't keep it low without all that volunteer support. So thank you much. Okay, moving on to, we'll go with junior high first. Before I get there, I'll call up each team, have the coach come up, have the players come up, the coach can speak on the players, and we'll go from junior high, JV Orange, and then we'll do JV Navy and varsity together. But before I get there, we'll talk about coaches for just a few minutes here. We have 11 coaches this year between junior high and high school, and a few other dads helping out here and there, but 11 true coaches. During these seasons, and with a sport like baseball, your players are spending probably more time with the other players, the coaches and dugouts, maybe than they're spending with their families between school and work and their activities. And I can't say enough about these coaches that your guys are spending time with. There's nobody I'd rather have my own son spend this much time with than these coaches that are volunteering for this program. And the way they volunteer and pour into it, it's a huge time commitment. It's very stressful between the games, the practices, the planning. There's a lot of conflict that happens between other teams, umpires, and so the amount of stress they handle while they're volunteering, the way they love on their boys, the Christian environment they provide. There's nobody, again, that I would want my son spending more time with than a family outside of these coaches. And so I'll call them up here and we'll talk about it in more detail, but I love these guys and really proud of them. They made me a better man. And I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry, but I just can't say how much I appreciate you guys and what you guys have done for not just Chargers baseball, but for helping raise these guys from boys into men. Okay, with that being said, well, Wallace, why don't you come up here with your team and talk for a few minutes about your season while Mo's making his way up here. Do want to share just a few comments from some of your players. Here's some comments for Mo. Coach, thank you for challenging me to be my best self. Coach challenged me not to step out. Thank you for helping me improve this season. Encouraged me patience. Encouraged me to be patient and to practice. Thank you for taking the time to coach us. Coach Bo has taught me important skills both on and off the field that I can use for life. My favorite thing from this season that Coach Bo challenged me with was hitting the inside pitch consistently. Tough thing to do. Nice job, Coach. My words of gratitude to him are that he's a great coach, especially when it comes to problems for each player. He shows his love and respect for each player every single day, every single practice, every single day. So thank you, Coach.
Okay, if you boys want to go ahead and come on up here. I'll tell you from the beginning, when I got these boys, and Coach Cody, if you want to come up here as well, and Chris, is Brad here? Oh, yes, I guess he's not here. But I'm telling you, with where we had these kids when we first got them to where they're at now, there's like major improvement as far as the work ethic and everything. And one of the first things I taught them in practice and telling them there's three things that I want from you. I want a good attitude, a great work ethic, and I want you to be coachable and teachable. And if you have those three things, we can be successful. And these boys have come to bat every single time, come to practice with the right mentality. And to see these boys grow from day one to where they're at now, it's amazing. And I'm going to be honest, when there was one point in our season where we played Walnut Grove. They actually had a very talented kid on that team pitching like 75 miles an hour. We lost 15-0 the very first time we played them. But then when the season went on, we actually ended up beating them 5-2 later on in the season. So that was one of the problems. But I guess I'm going to go through and just kind of introduce the players here. I've got Micah Hall on the end there, AJ, or Adrian Garrett, Peyton Wallace, Caleb Tui, what's your name? Is it Jackson? No, but Cohen, and then I got Jasper, Lincoln, Colton, and then I guess, what's the name? Wyatt and a few of them are out right now, but Howard is out, and then obviously Liam's here, never mind, Chris. But anyway, I really, like I said, enjoyed coaching them this season, and for me, I also went down on my back halfway through the season. And I'm going to be honest with you, if I didn't have Coach Tui and Leeper and Hall over here, I don't know what I'd do. It turned into a bucket coach halfway through the season. And so also want to say I'm very proud of also Curtis over there as far as helping us with Game Changer, and obviously having everybody else help with Game Changer. Cody doing it on first base. So I want to thank you all for that as well. But really, that's all I have.
All right, thank you guys, appreciate it. All right, Tough Looking Crew. Coach Bo, thanks for stepping up this year and taking the team on. Coach Reaver, pulling double duty. Okay, we'll move on to what we call our JV Orange team. For those of you that are a little bit newer to the Chargers baseball program, we didn't used to have this third team. When my son Brayden started, somewhere after his 8th grade year, Eric had enough for a varsity team, about half a JV team. I think we had some guys pulling some double duty, and the numbers have grown. And so 3 years ago, we added this, call this JV Orange team, the JVC team, because we had so many players to play, and we recognized it would be really good for development. And so each year, it's been tough at times, but that schedule has grown each year for those guys. The amount of practice they can get in, I know it's frustrating sometimes, but it has also grown. And so if you look at their records sometimes, you might say, well, it's really erratic, they're up and they're down. Part of that's because sometimes a JV Orange team, for us, it's a freshman team, largely, sometimes a couple sophomores on there. But sometimes they're playing against varsity teams from other schools, or they're playing against teams that have sophomores and juniors playing, because that's who other teams have to play, and we're looking for the competition. And so, for the guys on the team, coaches, never hang your head if you're coaching the JVC team. You never know who you're playing on the other side of the dugout or the other side of the field. And it's not so much about the wins and losses at that level. It's about getting the innings in, building the culture, getting the skill set, so that as they move up to sophomore, junior, senior year, or later in their high school career, they're more fully developed. And we're seeing the fruits of that right now at the varsity level. This was the most competitive high school varsity team we've had. A big part of that is because of the work that people put in back when the kids were freshmen and sophomores at that JVC team level. So with that, I'll call up JVC folks, Dennis Kitzmiller, Brian Gray, Brad Hall. If you guys like to come up and introduce your team and have a few comments on your season.
So we had, I had the privilege of coaching the JVC, or the Orange team this year. Of course, this is the second year that I've coached. The majority of this group of boys, or I should say young men, we made that trek over into high school baseball. And it was a challenge coming from junior high and taking that step. Not one time during this season were these boys not up for that challenge. And just like what Coach Sean just said, that record, those numbers don't depict the actual wins that we had this year, because these boys were resilient. I mean, if they were down, they were able to come back. They showed encouragement. They lifted each other up. And we had times where, they're like brothers sometimes. We have a little controversy. And when they gather around and you see all of them come together as a team, talk it out, pray, and then come back the next game and put up a fight, that's what it's about. Not only is Chargers baseball, but when they grow into men and the men that they are, they can take that into life. And so that's the rewarding aspect of coaching for Chargers, but coaching this group that we have. So I want to thank personally Coach Gray and Coach Hall. We can't do it without the support. Being able to talk through things and years. So that said, I do want to go ahead and call up each one of the boys that did, or calling you boys, you're young men. Some of you even driving, so go ahead and have the JV Orange come on up here. I want to recognize you. So David, Paxton, Dagan, Landon, and Bo, who was able to make it tonight. I want to say, watching you all grow, even at the start of the season, we had fun, we joked around, but when it was time to get down to business, you did. And as a whole team, and I'm going to speak for the whole team, they are playing with class. They respect each other, and they respect the opponents. They respect the umpires, and they played with encouragement. And as a coach, I couldn't ask for a better team to be a coach of, because if it made me this proud to see them interact on that type of level, each and every parent in here has got to be extremely happy and proud that your boys, your young men, are carrying that into their life. So, thank you for an awesome season, and I'm proud of each and every one of you.
And Coach Gizmo didn't mention it here, but they did set a record for the most runs scored in a baseball game ever. They did win 41-4. The score may have been worse. In Coach's defense, the other team wanted to keep playing with no mercy rules. So and he was holding up runners. Nothing was done wrong there. It was all good. Okay, tell you what, for the next group here, let me call up JV Navy and varsity together. Then Coach, if you're okay, Leaper, you can talk on Navy for a few minutes, and Fortune, you can talk on varsity, and we'll bring all the guys up together. Is that cool? Oh, he took off? You want to do Navy now? Yeah. Can we hide? Where do we hide? Surprise! Well, this is fun. I'm not a joke teller. I don't have any good baseball jokes. Surprise! Okay, for JV Navy, let's have Coach Dort, Coach Leeper come on up here. And for varsity, Coach Bridges, Coach Forrester, Coach Edom. And we'll let those folks talk on their team and call up the players.
Hey, you guys can come on up. All you JV, Navy, varsity players. We'll make it stand up here for a little while. Like Coach Sean said, I was the JV Navy coach this year. Just a great group of kids, and I know JV a lot of these kids get caught in the middle, right? We're not quite varsity. We're not on that JVC team. Sometimes we get shortchanged in innings. When it's raining out, so we had a lot of arms, a lot of players, and not enough innings to really to satisfy all those. But I hope they had a good time. Proud of the way that they all performed. on and off the field, great group of kids to hang out with in the dugout, even during that varsity game. And a lot of those guys always willing and ready to jump in and help that varsity team out at a whim. So proud of those guys for that. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, but I appreciate you guys this year, right? Chris here.
Well, guys, this has been a fun ride. This group right here, it was funny because I had a conversation today with a guy from a big school, Lebanon, and so we're talking baseball. I tend to talk baseball everywhere I go. And so his boys all playing college ball now, so we're talking, and through conversation, he was seeing the teams that we beat this year. He goes, man, you guys must have been pretty good. I said, we were. I said, we were gritty. And that's the best way I know to describe this group, because we were down. I'd like to go back and really look at all the games. We were down a lot of games, and these guys just don't give up. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. But it's all about them and their character and what they're made of. These guys are gritty. So, you know, all of us parents and all of us, we're adulting now. And so we understand that life isn't always sunshine and rainbows. Like, you learn that. So what these guys have shown me is that the next generation, these guys are okay. They're going to do well. Because even when they're down, they just keep fighting, keep chipping. They never give up. And so that's really what we talked about. And we always talked about, listen, we may not win every game. We may not always perform at our best level individually, right? But what we can do is look each other in the eye. And as brothers, so we always said, we'll be able to look in each and every guy's eyes and say, I gave you everything I had. And so what these guys are going to learn as they hit the real world, like these seniors now are moving on to what I call the real world, that same mentality goes along with everything. And we all know that. Our marriages, our jobs, our careers, everything we do, it's going to get hard. It's going to be tough sometimes. But at the end of the day, if you literally give it everything you've got, then you've done what you're supposed to do. So I'm just so, I could talk for hours about these guys and what they've done. I will say that, is this our record? So this is the varsity record. Where's Forsyth?
Next page.
Oh, okay. How does it list?
There it is.
Right there.
That's what we got it.
So we still got a W there? It was funny, that actually came up in the conversation today. I said, you'll never believe this. I said, we went over 6 pitches with a pitcher and had to forfeit a game. I said, all these years of doing this and watching pitch counts, we've never done that. But I like how we still have a W there, because we did beat them. So I like it. Sean's good. Oh, good job, Kristen. Yeah. Here's what I want to say, though, since I have the mic for a moment, is that the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes is unbelievable. And I'll never forget, I remember when Eric was kicking this thing off, I said, hey, I want to coach baseball. I don't want to have to be handling all the, and I never have. And how do you know how long we've been here, Eric? 9 years? And so I've never had to worry about anything other than coaching baseball. And I'm just telling you, but I see all the work going on behind the scenes. I'm just telling you. Eric, then pass the baton to Sean. Kristen works nonstop as well. I just want to give them a round of applause. It was funny because as Sean was intro and he's talking about how many families do we have involved?
130 players.
130 players. That's crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot of moving parts. And I'll just tell you that the Charger baseball program, we've caught some attention. People are talking about us out there in a positive way. That's the other really cool thing, is that this isn't normal. You know, being in the baseball world, Dennis and I played together, dinosaur years ago, But this isn't normal. When you have a group, all these guys right here, that I could hand these guys my wallet. I could have them come stay at my house and watch stuff for me. Like, I'm just telling you, this is a unique group. This is a group, when things aren't going great, yes, they have grit, but also they hold their integrity through it all. And we had some challenges. We got tested. They got tested this year just like we get tested in life. Yeah, you want to grab somebody by the neck sometimes, but we took it out with our play, though, didn't we? So that was cool. But this program would not be what it is without all these guys and all you've done. So I can't hit on that enough to say how grateful I am for all of you guys. Kristen always tries to hide behind the scenes, but I'm telling you, she works nonstop. So I love each and every one of you guys. This has been fun. And then, let me talk about the guy. I didn't get any, like, Chris, you have a minute or something. But I want to brag on these guys. Because this is, you talking about a team effort. Because this is all volunteer. Baseball is the fun part of things. And yeah, it gets stressful some, but really the stressful part is like, you're trying to work, you're trying to run business, you're trying to do things, and then, but reality is it feels like you're working for a couple hours a day because baseball takes up 6 more hours out of the day is what it feels like. So I just want everybody to give these guys a round of applause because all their time, these guys, this wouldn't be possible. That's the reality. So, I didn't read the memo of what I'm supposed to do.
You got it.
Do these boys need to say who they are? Yeah, I think yeah.
I'm Sam Doran, and I'm on the JV Navy. Ashton Wallace, JV Navy. Gideon Goodwin, also JV Navy. Caden Keeler, also JV Navy. Jacob Herbert, varsity. Marshall Branscombe, JV Navy. Gabe Reeves, varsity. Jake Morgan, varsity. Paxton Bridges, varsity. Cooper Garden, JV Navy. Landon Helburn, varsity. Josh Gillen, varsity. Elijah Dalton, JV Navy. Isaac Thomas, varsity. Nathan Richards, varsity. Eli Baker, JV Navy. Kyle Adam, varsity. Preston David, JV Navy. George Rindeman, JV Navy. Deegan David, JV Navy. Jonathan Owens, JV Navy. Rory Bridges, varsity. Jeff Ian, varsity. All right. So all the seniors come up here. I wouldn't even recognize some of these guys. Man, I'm used to seeing them in a baseball hat. Looking good. All right. All right, so what do we need to do?
I think they're going to say something.
Okay.
All right, so I heard a favorite memory of the year, and then it was like something learned through the year from coaches. Favorite memory for me for sure would be beating Hollister at home. I mean, that was a game we were all going into. Like, some nervous. It's like really good school. Had a couple really good players. One going to like Missouri State, and immediately got like they just are hitting the ball all over the field. Probably really great team. And then we just kept chipping, didn't give up, and ended up beating them at home. So that was probably my favorite memory. And then something I learned this year was from Coach Forster, right there. And it was like just never show weakness, never hang your head, because like for one, you never want to give that other team like just another upper hand, just like get more like confidence on you. But then slowly but surely you start like to believe you're really not as in like a low of a place you believe you are, and then like all of a sudden like it shifts, and then like your confidence is up there with them, and then it's just boom, 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 things start going your way. And so that's something I learned from Coach Forster, and it goes in my life every day.
That's good. Yeah, so my favorite memory was going down to Oklahoma City's first tournament of the season. We're down there. For those of you that have been down there, you know that we have sort of a friendly rivalry with the Broncos. So
We went down there, we won our first game. It was a very good team win. There's no individual player effort on that really jumps out at you. It's just the whole team grinding together, pulling the same way. So my favorite memory was our first win against OKC this year. Something I learned from the coaches, and this was from the players as well, was just how we rallied together as a team. Like Kyle was saying, we had a huge comeback against Hollister. That wasn't the only one. We had a bunch of big comebacks all year. Like, it was just, when we got down by a few runs, we didn't just like believe that we could come back and win. We knew we were going to, and then we ended up doing it. So that's just something I learned, just being gritty and hanging in there even when it was looking rough. So.
Yeah, my favorite memory, I mean, there's been so many good ones. Like Kyle said, Hollister. It was a great win, great team win. But I think, honestly, one of my favorite memories was Bolivar. It was one of our first games, and every year they've just been a tough team, pretty mouthy, and just a solid baseball team. Definitely some rivalry there, but we, as a team, we started off strong, and I feel like we kind of set the tone for the whole season. And we just played as a team, and it was a good win. And then I think something I've learned, we all honestly touched on it so far, but just how we're never out of the fight, and there's a lot of games that doesn't look like our record, but we definitely came back, and none of us gave up. None of us gave up on each other, and our coaches were all there. And I'd say another thing I've learned from Coach Jeff specifically is just always be looking to help out in any way possible. Coach Jeff, thank you for this whole season, and thank you, Florida. Just came in clutch with the neck coolers and the fans. And it was pretty nice. So yeah, thank you.
My favorite memory is probably the last couple, about a month ago or whatever, in Florida. Us hanging out as a team, on and off the field. Something I learned, not through just this year, but throughout every last couple of years with LCA is I came to LCA when I strike out, struggle, I kind of crash out, and each coach helped me through it and not let that happen.
My favorite memory from this year kind of goes along with Jake with Florida. Probably the karaoke performance by all the coaches. That was so funny. Me and Pax and Kyle were cracking up at that the whole time. But aside from that, I mean, the Broncos belly flop contest, everything. Florida was super awesome this year. Something the coaches have taught me definitely is whenever maybe things aren't going your way or you're struggling to lift someone else up. I put a lot of emotion on the field, so I'm kind of like an up and down type of player. And when I would get down, the coaches would always remind me, pick someone else up, say something encouraging, get the team in the game. And that always helped, wiped it. And it helps you play your best ball, and it helps you in life. So it's definitely something that I can look back on and just remind myself on through the years.
Thanks, guys. Good commentary there. Tell you what, we've been sitting for a while. Let's take a 5-minute break so people can move around a bit, use the restroom, and we'll get set up for letter awards and then Jeff's inspirational message for us, okay? So 5-minute break, and then we'll pick back up here in just a minute. Oh, yeah, you want a picture? Yeah. Okay, thank you for the attentive ears. That's what Liz would say when she was home school. Attentive ears. Yeah. I just wanted to bring attention to our seniors one more time, and just bring light to something that honestly I didn't catch. My wife brought it to my attention, so she's very perceptive that way and brings a lot of things to my attention. But it's something I thought was worth everyone hearing because these guys here have played together for a very long time. Paxton and Jacob have played together since they were little. Kyle too. And I mean, they truly are like brothers. And the things that they talked about, the highlights of this season, one thing that they did not mention was their own personal highlights, which again speaks volumes of their character. Doesn't mean we didn't have some adversity and some things we had to work through this year. We did, but just the way they truly led by example most of the time, and really played with their hearts and encouraged the younger guys, the juniors and the sophomores, and if there was one thing maybe we could have done a little better job of doing that. That's the only thing that I can think of. But I mean, I can speak about how many home runs did you have this year, Josh? 4? Jake? 6 or 7. Pax had his first home run this year, and when they were playing Hartville, he threw out that kid that's going to Missouri State, which was a kid he's a very good ball player. Kyle, you hit 2 home runs in the last game, one of the last games against Skyline, back to back, and then he also had how many great outings on the mound? I mean, my goodness, a bunch. So much so we lost track of his pitch count in that one game. We were just like, this is incredible. He just shut these guys down, and we lost it. Jacob, my goodness, where do I begin? No home runs, but Mr. Clutch is what I'll call him. Whether it's on the field, turning double plays, leading the team in various ways. He's our go-to guy when we're in a jam and we need to put a guy on the mound with bases loaded, no outs. We go to Jacob, and he's just ice in his veins. And anyway, I can't say enough great things about each one of you guys, but the one thing that I wanted to bring attention is the fact that they won't talk about themselves, and they lead by example. Very proud of you guys. So. I think the seniors have something they want to pass off.
All right, so as the youngest of the seniors group, I've been voluntold naturally to say a few words. So we were asked to give a challenge to the younger players on the team. And so what we came up with as a group was one word: accountability. So for us, we've been blessed to play in this organization for 4 years, Jake for 3. And we've been blessed to have a great group of guys who we're able to be accountable with. So just my challenge to the younger guys would be, use this opportunity. You're only here in high school baseball for 4 years. Use the opportunity to be accountable with your teammates, make lasting connections with guys that truly care about you. This is a great organization. Everywhere I've seen baseball, there's nothing like the Chargers. So that's all I had.
Anybody else?
I'll say it. Okay. I don't know. Ever since I was little, my parents would always tell me that baseball coming to an end. I'm not trying to sound like cheesy to younger guys, because I heard it all the time, and I was like, nah, there's always gonna be one more game. But now that it's over, it's really weird to think about, and I just wanted to encourage you guys to really just make the most of it. Have fun off the field, have fun with your teammates, but live every game like it's your last, because you never know if injury, if it's going to be your last game, or if it's just going to come down to your last senior game. But enjoy it. It's
It's awesome. It's fun. It's great. So. All right. Thanks, guys. You guys might as well stay up here. We're going to do letter ceremony. Okay. Let's go through and award letters now. And with this one. Yeah, those guys there. Okay. So each year we go through and determine who will letter for spring baseball. It's a tough discussion for the coaches. This one and rostering are tough discussions, tough decisions, because we care a lot about these guys, and in some ways you want to give everybody a letter, but letters are reserved for the folks that we set criteria for to earn each year, and something for these guys to strive for. And so some of the criteria that we set for earning a letter are things like playing half the varsity innings. It's a little bit different for pitcher onlys or designated hitters. Not missing games practices without excused absences. Being in good ethical behavioral standing with the team. Being a senior or a multi-year player is taken into account. Contributing to the team in some other meaningful fashion. For example, if we had an excellent team manager, which we don't have team managers this year, but if we did, that might be taken into account. And so those are the kind of criteria that we look at when we're considering lettering folks. It's not decisions that are made lightly. With that, we'll go through the folks we're lettering this year. And before I get there, if you are a player that gets a letter, most players order their jackets through Work of Art in Branson. And so if you call down there, they have like a form they'll send you. It has the costs, it has how to order, the measurements, all that kind of fun stuff. But they can help you work through that process as they've helped so many of their charters with their letter jackets over the years. That being said, the first person I'd like to letter here, that we'd like to letter, is Paxton Bridges, third-year letter winner. Paxton. And so, didn't mention, but first-year letters get the letter for their jacket. I am a little bit short. Letters have about a 6-week lead time, and so I think I'm one short, and so I'll make sure and get that ordered for individual. And then also, it's a little bit embarrassing, but I printed the certificates on this nice cardstock paper. 2 or 3 of them must have gotten left on the printer. And so, for those couple players that I'm missing there, I'll have to hit up some of the ball when I see them this summer. Okay, Kyle Edom, third-year letter. Next up, Mr. Herbert. Congratulations, third year. Number 99, Jacob Morgan. Okay, Mr. Hilburn. Come on down. Landon's another multi-year award recipient. Josh Elam, 23. Okay, now we're getting into our first year letter winners, starting with Eli Baker. And Eli, I think you're one I'm missing a certificate for, and so I'll have to get you yours at a future date, okay? Jackson Owen, I don't think Jackson, I didn't see Jackson tonight. Okay, Jackson, first year letter winner, make sure I get his to him. Gabe Reeves, number 55. Nathan Richards, number 77. Isaac Thomas. Congratulations, Isaac. And last but definitely not least here, Jackson Leeper, number 11, Sticks. Yeah, Jackson, sorry, your certificate got stuck in the printer too, so I'll get you yours. Congratulations, guys. This is a big achievement for you all, and we're super excited to be able to give these to you. Look forward to seeing your non-seniors back next year to win another one. Yeah, thanks, guys. Okay, Kristen knows what's coming next. For a second there, I glanced over the table and saw her chair empty, and I was like, she's tried to do it again. She's tried to slip out when it's time for her recognition. Chris talked a lot about this, and I'll be repetitive because it's worth it. This organization doesn't happen without Chris Needham. The amount of time she puts in behind the scenes. I like to get my beauty sleep. I'll wake up at 6:30 in the morning, and I'll often have emails, messages from Chris at like 2 in the morning. That's how much she cares about this organization and the work that she does while balancing a family and helping run their own business. But for real, it doesn't work without Kristen. She manages so much of the work. She's pretty much single-handedly responsible for the youth program that we have. She does a tremendous amount of work for the high school and junior high teams. She keeps me straight with my tasks and make sure I'm getting things done. So Kristen, we can't tell you how much we appreciate all the work that you do. Again, Chargers baseball is synonymous with Kristen Needham. Okay, Mr. Edom, are you ready? Coach looks good tonight. So we'll turn to Coach Edom for some words and video here, and then we'll wrap up with one last Chargers breakdown, and then be on our way.
Okay, I gotta be honest with you. I've been working on something and video and a little bit of something. And I'll be honest, when I walked in here, I was under attack almost immediately. Like, don't do this. This isn't something you should be sharing. And to show you, I mean, I had to put it on paper because I'll lose my wording. But I started scratching through my speech because I started doubting myself. Like, this isn't something I should be sharing. And then Coach Forster got up here and basically shared what I was going to talk about. And I felt, okay, this is the freedom I needed, the release to share this. So another thing that he also shared was about how this team this year came back from all kinds of stuff. And they fought back like, you know, he pretty much said exactly what I'm about to play for. It's about a 15-second chant or end of the game cheer. Let me see here. So like, even with that, I'm like, okay, I had that on video. What's the chance I catch it on video? Well, okay, I record everything, so. But what I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna read this, because I'm just gonna get through this. I have to stare at this, because if I look up, I'm gonna lose it. It took me 28 minutes to read it at the house. It's a 4-minute speech. So, but here we go. So, for those of you who don't know me, I became a coach around 2017. It was an exhaustive search, and by that I mean I showed up to practice. The head coach had quit 20 minutes before, and Matt Stinson and I were there just waiting. So do we decide to pick up and go, or do we leave? And so we coached those 9 players And that's how we got through the season. And I've continued to pass the background check each year, so I get to stay on the team. So before the state tournament, I hired someone to film this, and my thinking was simple. We were going to win the state championship, make a highlight video. Well, we didn't win the state championship. And I caught myself looking at the bill for the footage of all that stuff I recorded and wasn't going to use it. So we went out to dinner that night and got to talking to Coach Forrester. And something he said stuck with me. He said, if we win, we celebrate, we raise a trophy, and that would have been great. But if we don't, if we don't lose that game, we don't get that moment. We don't get that circle of young men listening and reflecting on what they had actually just accomplished. So what Coach was thinking back to was something we shared at the beginning of the season. Every player, every coach looked at each other in the eye and made a promise. And this is what he just talked about on stage. I'll give you everything I've got. And right there in the middle of that hurt, he made sure they saw it. They did exactly what they said they would do. That's what he was most proud of. I didn't grow up around men like this. I'm 53. I've never been around this until he started coaching the Chargers. And I want you guys to understand something about Coach Forrester. He's one of the most competitive people I've ever met in my life. This man is not okay. No? Okay, there we go. This guy is not okay with winning or losing. But even in the hurt, when he's feeling it, just as much as anybody in the dugout, he studies a group, he finds a lesson, he turns a loss into something worth keeping. That's not weakness, that's the rarest kind of strength. This video that I've put together, it's built around the words of Coach Forrester, the speech and the prayer that he gave at the end of that tournament. I didn't use all of it because it's important that some stuff stay between the players and the coaches. But I'm gonna, since I did use this audio without your permission, I'm gonna ask for your forgiveness later. It's the same approach I took in my first marriage. It worked out perfect. So you'll hear his voice, but mostly you're going to read the words. Every sentence you read is exactly how he said it. This was Coach's 8th year. He stayed because it's not just baseball to him, this is ministry. He preaches it, he practices it every single day. For instance, I'll give you a little example. Last year we had some players make a poor decision outside in public with their uniform on. Coach came back and addressed it to the entire team the next day. His message was simple. If one Charger makes a poor choice, it reflects on all of us. When one of you hurts, we all hurt. When one of you wins, we all win. That's what family means. And then he laid out the consequence. Everybody has to run. Players, coaches, nobody above the standard. Now, I want to be honest with you about something. Coach Roy and I are not distance runners. I swear, I think we all saw the Lord, like the third lap there. It's like, it was bad. And Forrester's out there lapping us. But that's who he is. He doesn't just preach accountability, he lives it. Years from now, these boys won't remember most of these scores, but they'll remember what it felt like when their coach ran polls with him. Because he refused to be above it. This year, I'm going to give you one more example here. So this year we didn't have an official senior night. So we used our last home game to recognize the seniors. That just happened to be before the state tournament. We didn't have a lot of options. So before our game, the moms were hanging the senior posters. The opposing coach of said team, like I said, walked by and made a comment that it was tacky. The moms were hurt. And when Coach found out, he was hot, red hot. I mean, he wanted to confront him bad. He came from Roy and I, we had his bad. We were about to take this guy out before the game started. I mean, I'm not even lying. But he held back. And for the moment, he said, we'll deal with it after the game. And I think he was. He really was. So, by the way, we won that game 18-0. So that was a good game to win right there. After the game, Coach was still bothered, I could tell. And that was the day my son graduated high school. And I'm driving to his graduation. I get a text, and it was sent to Roy and I. And I'm going to apologize for reading this, but I'm going to read it how you sent it. Got a text from Coach Forrester. Driving down the road, and I thought about what my dad always says. Can the Lord honor that? We must honor the Lord even in the hard stuff, because we expect it out of these boys when they are mad as well. I'll be honest with you, when he said we are mad as, I didn't think he was saying well. I saw another word, I'm like, that can't be Forrester. But that's just, again, that's who he is. The way he has spoken to these players after that final loss is the same way he has spoken to every young man he's coached for 8 years. My oldest son, Brett, heard it. I'm so grateful for that. Kyle's heard it. And by proxy, I've tried to surround Bo with Coach Forrester as much as possible. I tell Bo, if you're in the dugout, stand as close to Coach Forrester as you can. What we have in this baseball program is not accidental. I've heard repeatedly throughout the year from board members and from RID that baseball is the one program he never really has to worry about. No one calls about our culture being bad, no drama. And what happens is when you have the right people in place, people who communicate and make decisions together, who check their ego at the door and put kids above everything else, the program thrives. It's not because we're perfect, but because we have adults leading it the right way. And I want to say that culture started with Eric Meyer right there. I'm so glad he's here tonight to hear this, because I have it right here in my speech. I'm not just saying it because you're here. He was one of the first that really started this ball rolling. And when he left, it was like, my wife and I were so invested in this. The uncertainty of the future, instead of putting God's hands at 100%, we were like, what can we do? And so glad we did leave in God's hands, because it was passed off to Sean Wright. And it was carried on beautifully. And I'm glad he signed on for another 5 years. So, no. And again, my wife, Crystal, thank you. I'm fairly certain, I can attest that she has not slept since February. Anyway, this culture is worth protecting. So tonight, this is not a championship highlight video, obviously. It's something better. Coach, you had the insight to see something in that loss most people would have missed. I can be honest, I'm surprised I haven't broken down crying. I must have been like dried out. I cried all day today, to be honest with you. This is very nice. I stumbled my way through it, so I just meant for that. So anyway, this year and every year you've coached these young men, you've taught them that if we truly put Christ first and give it everything we've got, it's going to be a win. So tonight, I hope this shows you that we were listening. So with that, I'm going to start the video.
team and say, I'll give you everything I've got. Remember that? We looked at each other, we all looked at each other's eyes, and he said, I'll give you everything I've got, and I'll give you everything. Boys, we said, so we did. We did. To the last pitch. All right, Lord, I just thank you, Lord, for these men. Lord, you bless me with so grateful to be here wearing the same uniform as these guys, be in that dugout with them, go to war, to go into battle with them between these lines. So Lord, I pray that you will honor our relationship together. I pray that you will help us sharpen each other. Let it not be over, Lord, but let us all grow, Lord, close to you, Lord, just grow closer together, closer to you. And Lord, I pray that you use these men. I pray that you'll bless their future. Lord, down to the lady that they marry, Lord, I pray that you even prepare them for that right now. Be the best husband they can be. Lord, for their kiddos, Lord, they be the best dads they can be. And Lord, that they'll raise those kids up to honor and glorify you. So Lord, I pray that you go with these men everywhere we go, everything that they bring to do. Lord, I pray that your hand be with them and that you'll guide them and direct them. Pray that your favor be upon them. Lord, just favor them in everything that they do, Lord. Every little thing. Take care of every detail. And walk with these boys in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. 1, 2, 3, we are guys!
So one of the things I was battling about reading this is the last thing the coach would want this to be is about him. And that's why I was like, gosh, I don't want to be doing this. This isn't what he wants. But then, I remember I sent his dad. I'm close with his dad. If you haven't met D, he's an amazing man. I sent D a text in March, and I said, I miss seeing you, my buddy. The more time I spend with Coach, the more time I'm impressed with the type of dad you must have been raising him. And D's response, 3 words, it's all God. And that just says, about the man that's set the culture for our team. But he would be the first to tell you, this is not about him. But I just wanted to thank him personally in front of all these people. You've been my coach too. I've been on this bench all those years. Thank you for allowing me to pass that background check. Just thank you for letting me be beside you. Thank you for letting me learn with you, or learn everything that you've taught these boys has helped me tremendously. And I'm grateful. So I think we are all grateful. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for the example you set. I love you. All right, that's all I got.
We all definitely have strengths and weaknesses. When it comes to coaching staff, Jeff brings so much passion and joy to the game, and huge strength for the coaches as well as the players. Also, his use of technology has grown drastically in the past few years. When it comes to AI, if you need anything from Jeff, he's great there. But no, fantastic words, Jeff. The video is outstanding. Thank you for doing that. That's going to be a really cool thing for years to come. Really appreciate it. To close out here, let's call the players up here. Let's do one last breakdown. And then we'll, do we need help cleaning up, Kristen, or anything? So let's break down, and if we could help clean up, and get on our way. All right, who's going to lead it? Josh, you got it? Last one.
2, 3, we are